John Cusack used to be everywhere. You couldn't turn on a screen without seeing that face, sharp, funny, a little awkward, completely real. Then one day, he just wasn't there anymore. No farewell tour. No big announcement. He just faded. And that's the part that bugs people the most. When a star that big goes quiet, everyone assumes something happened behind the scenes. Was he pushed out? Did he walk away on his own? Or is the real story something nobody's talking about? Stick with me, because the answer isn't what you'd expect. Back in his prime, Cusack was the guy who made ordinary feel extraordinary. Say anything. High fidelity. Being John Malkovich. Gross point blank. He played people who felt like people you actually knew, messy, funny, a little broken. For a while, it looked like he'd be a leading man forever. But here's where things start to shift. His disappearance wasn't one big scandal. It wasn't a meltdown or a career-ending mistake. It was something slower. Something quieter. And that's often scarier than a single dramatic exit. The first crack came from Hollywood itself. Back in the 80s and 90s, studios loved character-driven films, smart comedies, emotional dramas, the exact kind of movie where Cusack thrived. Then everything changed. Superheroes took over. Franchises. Sequels. Movies built for spectacle, not subtlety. The genre that made Cusack a star slowly disappeared. He even said it himself. In an interview with The Guardian, he admitted that getting financing for his kind of films had become brutally difficult. Was it the industry that changed, or was it him? Turns out, it was both. Because Cusack has never played it safe. While most celebrities avoid controversy like it's poison, he ran straight at it. He criticized studios. He challenged institutions. He spoke his mind on politics without flinching. Fans loved his honesty. But Hollywood? Hollywood tends to reward people who stay quiet. And Cusack was anything but quiet. So did his mouth cost him his career? Some believe it did. Instead of chasing blockbusters, Cusack went a different way entirely. He turned to independent films and international projects, smaller productions with real creative freedom, but almost no marketing muscle. No massive campaigns. No worldwide premieres. Which meant most people simply stopped seeing him, and assumed he'd stopped working. But that wasn't true. Not even close. He wasn't gone. He was just somewhere else, doing work Hollywood wasn't paying attention to. So did the industry try to pull him back? Or did they just let him go? The deeper story reveals something surprising. Cusack didn't get pushed out of the spotlight, he backed away from it. On purpose. While other actors chased red carpets and interviews, he avoided them. He skipped the glitz. He didn't play the fame game. Instead, he chose scripts that mattered to him, even if the paycheck was small and the audience smaller. That's a bold move in an industry built on visibility. But it came at a cost. At the same time, his political voice got louder. He spoke out on government policy, economic inequality, corporate power, the kind of topics most celebrities tiptoe around. He didn't tiptoe. He said what he thought, consequences or not. And that honesty built him a loyal following, but it also built walls between him and Hollywood's inner circle. Was that trade worth it? He seems to think so. Meanwhile, the industry kept shifting further away from the kind of films that made him famous. Character-driven stories got replaced by CGI and franchise formulas. The type of role that once defined Cusack's career became almost extinct. But even through all that, he never actually vanished. He reinvented. He built a new path, one based on meaning, not mainstream success. Was that the end of his career, or the start of something more honest? You decide. But here's where the story gets murkier. Did Hollywood ever try to bring him back? Or did the industry breathe a quiet sigh of relief when he stepped away? For years, Cusack was inescapable, say anything, high fidelity, Con Air, being John Malkovich. He could do romance, comedy, action, drama, all with the same effortless charm. Yet despite all that talent, he slowly drifted out of the spotlight. And the reasons go far beyond one controversy. According to reports, it was personal choices, political opinions, and industry shifts all colliding at once. Unlike stars who thrive on constant exposure, Cusack avoided the spotlight almost entirely. He left Los Angeles behind and moved to Chicago, putting real distance between himself and the industry's social machine. In a business where staying visible is survival, he chose invisibility. That's a risky bet. Did it pay off? His activism only deepened the divide. He challenged political leaders, criticized corporations, defended press freedom. He even interviewed whistleblower Edward Snowden and co-wrote a book on related issues. He's admitted that speaking out may have closed doors for him professionally, but he chose principle over popularity anyway. Not every moment landed well, though. In 2019, one social media post sparked major backlash, forcing Cusack to apologize and clarify his intentions. Incidents like that reinforced his reputation as bold, but also polarizing. Even his praised performance in Amazon's Utopia couldn't fully bring him back into the mainstream after the show was cancelled. So what pushed him toward such risky, controversial statements in the first place? The answer lies in what he chose to fight for. Cusack has spoken out repeatedly about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, becoming one of the most vocal Hollywood voices on the subject. During the 2014 Gaza war, he condemned the deaths of Palestinian civilians and voiced strong criticism of Israel's military actions, drawing both support and backlash. In 2018, he signed a public letter backing singer Lorde after she cancelled a concert in Israel following pressure from the BDS movement. His stance made his position unmistakably clear. But then came a moment that spiraled fast. In 2019, Cusack shared an image containing anti-Semitic imagery, unaware of its origins, paired with the phrase, "Follow the money." The backlash was immediate. He deleted the post within hours and issued a public apology, saying the material didn't reflect his beliefs and that anti-Semitism had no place in political discussion. Was it a mistake born from carelessness, or a signal of something deeper? People are still divided. After the October 2023 attacks and the war that followed, Cusack stayed just as vocal, signing a public letter urging a ceasefire and repeatedly clashing online with critics. In 2024, an advocacy group even placed him on an Anti-Semite of the Year list, something he firmly rejected as false. Then in 2025, he shared another controversial post linking a political figure to Jeffrey Epstein, only to delete it within 2 hours after backlash erupted again. A pattern was forming. But why does someone so intelligent keep stepping into the same fire? To understand that, you have to go back to where he came from. John Cusack was born in 1966 in Evanston, Illinois, into a home built on creativity and conviction. His father worked as an actor, writer, and filmmaker. His mother was a former math teacher and passionate political activist. Together, they created a household where questioning the world wasn't just allowed, it was expected. Acting ran through the family like a bloodline. His sisters Joan and Cusack both built major acting careers, and his siblings Bill and Susie were involved in the arts too. Growing up surrounded by performers and thinkers, creative ambition felt like the most natural thing in the world. The family's roots stretched beyond Illinois, and they kept close ties with activist Philip Berrigan, exposing young Cusack early on to conversations about justice and standing firm in your beliefs. By the time he graduated high school in 1984, where he met future actor Jeremy Piven, it was already obvious that acting was his true calling. He briefly attended NYU, but college couldn't hold him. After just 1 year, he left, joking that he had too much fire in his belly and not enough smarts in his brain. It was a bold, almost reckless move, but it set him on the path that would define his life. So what does his private life look like today? Even after decades of fame, Cusack has kept much of it hidden. He grew up in a house where intellect and art mattered more than attention, and that mindset followed him into adulthood. His sister Joan became an Oscar-nominated star, and the siblings often appeared together on screen, creating one of Hollywood's most beloved family dynamics. Yet unlike so many celebrities, John never chased headlines about his personal relationships. He's never married. He has no children. He rarely discusses his love life at all. Those close to him describe him as private, thoughtful, and fiercely protective of the parts of his life that have nothing to do with fame. In the end, Cusack's story isn't about disappearing. It's about choosing a different definition of success, one built on independence, honesty, and sticking to his beliefs, even when it cost him popularity. Hollywood moved one direction. He moved another. So, was his outspoken nature really what pushed him out of the spotlight? Or was it simply the price of staying true to himself? That's the question everyone's still asking.